Were killed during the incident, which led to many calling for action against Joshua. The trustees, together with the engineers who constructed the collapsed building, will appear in court. The church building that was being used as a guest house, the church collapsed in September last year, killing over 100 people. The inquiry is set for months and the ruling is set for July next year. Well, for more on this story, we now cross live to our reporter in Abuja, Sophia Adengo. Sophia, a very good afternoon to you. What about the arrest of T.B Joshua? We know that Nigeria has rather been quiet when it came to the church building collapse. Tell us what is going on there.
Well, we have to be careful here. It's not necessarily the arrest, but the arraignment of this charismatic Pentecostal leader, T.B Joshua, here in Nigeria. He has been summoned by a Nigerian high court to appear and answer over charges of this collapsed building in September of 2014. At this stage, T.B Joshua is to present himself along with his board of trustees and the company that was, hired to build this guest house that collapsed.
All right,
Alicia.
Sophia, what exactly is he charged with?
Well, what we do know so far is that T.B Joshua and the engineers are charged with failure to obtain proper permits in constructing this guest house. The guest house was originally cleared for 2 floors. However, 3 extra floors were added on top of the 2 floors. And that is where the real question is. Were permits legally handed to T.B Joshua and the church authorities to be able to add those 3 extra levels that saw the pressure, collapse under the 2 floors? At this time, that's really what they are being charged with. Alicia.
Look, Sophia, the issue surrounding the collapse is that a lot of South African family members who lost their loved ones was that it took too long to bring back the bodies. There's been no further details regarding the investigation. So what sort of outcome can we expect from this latest move now?
Well, Aisha, the Nigerian government launched what they called a coroner's inquiry to really find out what the cause of death was. Of course, the building had collapsed on people who were inside the guest house, but the reason as to why that collapsed, there have been many speculations, including, surveillance footage that caught an airplane circling the building shortly before its collapse. At the end of the day, the church authorities of the synagogue, Church of All Nations, must answer to the High Court. Did or did they not have these permits? And you must remember, a lot of the people were trapped under the building for days, and many of them weren't accounted for. I would suppose that would be the issue in the delay of information going back, not only to the nationals from South Africa, but from all the other African nationals who were within that building the day of that collapse. However, at this time, T.B. Jakes is tasked with coming up with evidence that he indeed is not criminally liable for the collapse of that church last September.
Look, Sophia, before I let you go very quickly, man, who else is set to appear before the court on these charges, on related charges?
Well, what we do know so far is T.B. Joshua himself will be in court, as well as his board of trustees and 2 of the engineers that were part of the company that were, contracted to construct this building. And of course, anticipation is high as to see how they will respond to the charges that have been, levied against them by the High Court.
Thank you so much. That is Sophia Adengo live to us from Abuja with an update on T.B Joshua's arrest. Well, those are some of the top stories we are covering right here on the Midday Report. We're going to have more.